Daniel chapter 2, lesson 3, part 3. The dream was prophetic. It showed the major ruling empires to the very end of the age, starting with Nebuchadnezzar's Babylon to the setting up of the kingdom of God. Daniel 2:29 through 30. As for you, O king, your thoughts came into your mind on your bed what should happen hereafter. And he who reveals secrets has made known to you what shall happen. But as for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but to the intent that the interpretation may be made known to the king, and that you may know the thoughts of your heart. First, Daniel explained the actual content of the dream. Daniel 2:31 through 33. You, O king, saw, and behold, a great image. This image, which was mighty, and whose brightness was excellent, stood before you, and the aspect of it was awesome. As for this image, its head was of fine gold, its breast and its arms of silver, its belly and its thighs of brass, its legs of iron, and its feet part of iron and part of clay. Daniel 34 and 35. You saw until a stone was cut out without hands, which struck the image on its feet that were of iron and clay, and broke them in pieces. Then was the iron and the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken into pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, so that no place was found for them. And the stone that struck the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. Then he gave the interpretation. Daniel 2:36 through 38. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation of it before the king. You, O king, are the King of kings, to whom the God of heaven has given the kingdom, the power and the strength and the glory. And wherever the children of men dwell, the animals of the field and the birds of the sky has he given into your hand, and has made you to rule over them all. You are the head of gold. Daniel 2:39. After you shall arise another kingdom, inferior to you, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. Daniel 2:40. The fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, because iron breaks into pieces and subdues all things. And as iron crushes all these, shall it break into pieces and crush. Daniel 41 and through 43. Whereas you saw the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, it shall be a divided kingdom, but there shall be in it of the strength of iron, because you saw the iron mixed with miry clay. As the toes of the feet were part of the iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Whereas you saw the iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cling to one another, even as iron does not mingle with clay. Daniel 2:44 and 45. In the days of those kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, nor shall the sovereignty of it be left to another people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Because you saw that a stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and it broke into pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God has made known to the king what shall happen hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation of it is sure. The king was amazed. Daniel 2:46. Then King Nebuchadnezzar fell on his face and worshipped Daniel, and commanded that they should offer an offering and sweet odors to him. It was a very good introduction to Nebuchadnezzar of the one true God. As we will see, Nebuchadnezzar still had a long way to go, but as we will see later, there is good evidence that even he became a believer in the one true God. Daniel 2:47. The king answered to Daniel and said, "Of a truth your God is the God of gods and the Lord of kings, a revealer of secrets, seeing you have been able to reveal this secret." In the meantime, Daniel and his friends were given big promotions. Daniel 2:48 and 49. Then the king made Daniel great, and gave him many great gifts, and made him rule over the whole province of Babylon, and to be chief governor over all the wise men of Babylon. Daniel requested of the king, and he appointed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego over the affairs of the province of Babylon. But Daniel was in the gate of the king. The dream involved a statue made from different materials. In the end, the statue was destroyed by a rock. The rock grew into a huge mountain that filled the whole earth. We can determine a good deal from the interpretation of the prophetic dream. In addition, the book of Daniel has some parallel accounts of the same information. That is especially true of Daniel chapter 7. Daniel 11:36 through 12:2 is very interesting. The New Testament book of Revelation also helps. We can look back from our perspective and learn a good deal about where we stand on the prophetic timeline. The end of Lesson 3, Part 3.